All right, everybody, welcome to the Eye Test Volume 2. I want to talk about the Detroit Lions game that the 49ers had. And my thoughts, what I saw, what I thought was the difference in the game, and what are we going to do moving forward? So, first off, holy shit, I don't know what we were doing on defense. The Detroit Lions were beating the living crap out of us, and I've watched a lot of football. I haven't seen a team do that, especially to the 49ers, in a long time. They were literally just like throwing us on the ground and like stepping on our faces, and we couldn't do anything about it. I don't know why Detroit didn't just try and like run every single play for the whole entire game. They didn't need to pass the ball. They could have just ran the football constantly and got first down after first down after first down after first down after first down. They picked up a 3rd and 12. It's like that was like the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Like on Madden, you don't go for it on 3rd and 12, and they're basically calling us a bunch of hoes and everything like that because they were just running down the field. It was pretty crazy what they did offensively. And for the life of me, maybe it was the little bit of prayer that was involved is why they stopped. Because otherwise, I can't figure it out. They were beating the crap out of us. And, I really think, like I say, the reason I call it the eye test is I can't explain the X's and O's part of it. Okay, I think part of our problem was scheme. The scheme was not helping our team out. But I was like, okay, look, man, they are stomping us into the ground. At the very least, be physical. Be physical, be a man, and hit somebody. And we weren't really hitting anybody. I'm watching players, like I think it was Chase Young was taking the play off. People are like hand tackling. I'm like, yo, man, like this is give our offense a chance. They weren't giving the offense a chance. And it wasn't until the second quarter, after they had already manhandled our offense and had that the play in the first quarter, where the receiver did the reverse and scored a touchdown, and the running back scored a touchdown, and I think it was like after the 3rd touchdown, it was like 21. Okay, and we finally, it was like a 3rd down, and Dre Greenlaw hit Laporta. Looked like he killed himself. He hit that dude. Okay, and stopped him on 3rd down and made him kick a field goal. And to me, that was a turning point. That was a turning point for the defense in the game. Okay, it was like, holy shit, we finally stopped them. Okay, what are we doing? We need to start hitting some people. We need to start taking it to them. And they were still staggered, but they kind of, they were like, hey, okay, all right. You know what I mean? They kind of like drew okay, and they made him kick a field goal. I know it wasn't no points, and I know it wasn't beautiful or perfect or anything like that, and they didn't really stop Detroit for the rest of the game. But that was when it was the first 2 quarters. I've never seen it. It looked like the evil empire were just like dun dun dun. They were just smacking defenders out of the way and moving people out of the way. There were receivers open everywhere. We could have just took the defense off the field and we probably would have been more productive. Okay, it was crazy, and that hit by Greenlaw I thought was so important because he set the tone, stopped them, and I really felt like that's when Detroit started. That happened, and we stopped them. And I think that's when Detroit just hesitated and got a little bit less aggressive. And when we went in for halftime, I could tell that something happened. And because Nick Bosa was all right, but he was really on it in the second half, and you could tell to a man that the physicality. Forget that we were in man and not zone anymore. I think that's part of it. That's where the scheme was killing us in the first half. In the second half, I think the coach was like, look, the only way we can do this is if we go to man, but that means y'all going to have to, like, man up. Literally, the defensive line, y'all going to have to start, punking people. The corners, y'all going to have to actually cover everybody on your own because we got to put pressure on these people, and we got to start hitting somebody. And they started to do that, and I really think that's why, you know, Detroit got away from the run, because we started putting it on them a little bit. It wasn't like, you know, we're just smacking them around and, you know, like a bunch of bullies, but we actually started laying some licks on some people and started making them pay for catching the ball and running the ball and having the ball in their hands. They started, you know, actually playing some damn defense and not, you know, sitting there just getting, you know, smacked around like a redheaded stepchild, you know. And I think that's what did it. I think that was the difference. A lot of people can't figure out why Detroit stopped running, and I really do think that the physicality the defense started playing with, they weren't just giving them everything anymore, and it started to give them pause. And a lot like Rocky, man. It was a lot like Rocky that, you know, Detroit was punching. It was like Mike Tyson's punch out, where like in the first, you know, in that game, you get hit by Mike Tyson in the first round, you're automatically knocked out. Well, okay, he was KOing us, just boo, boo, like Little Mac. We're just like, we're just getting knocked out. But we kept pressing the A button. We were pressing the A button, and we kept getting back up. We got our asses back up. We made it to halftime. And I don't think our offense did bad. I really think the defense was not helping us out in any kind of way at all. Also, Jake Moody scares me to death. He scares me to death. I hate doing that to a kicker. I don't even want to put it out there into the universe, but I remember that game when he against Cleveland when he missed like a 20-yarder. He scares me to death, and oh my God, if we have to kick a field goal to win any kind of game in any kind of hard situation, I don't want to see it. I don't even know if I could look. I don't even know if I could watch. Okay, he missed the field goal in his last game. And I was just like, we have to literally score touchdowns. And the defense wasn't letting us get on the field. They were just marching down the field. So, you know, people want to talk about Brock and all this other stuff. We couldn't get to any kind of rhythm on offense. I mean, we scored when we had the chance to get the ball. You know what I mean? So you get into the second half, and they finally started shuttering these people. And just like in real life, just like in Punch-Out, if you can make it through that first round, man, like Tyson gets a little bit more beatable. And, you know, as you always know, they keep swinging. Detroit wanted that big knockout punch. They wanted to hit us and knock us out, man. They wanted that KO. They wanted that KO. And I knew that dude wasn't gonna kick field goals. I knew it. You could just see it in his eyes. I knew he was going for it. I'm like, please. I'm like, go for it. Go for it. Keep going for it. Because you could tell once we finally we kicked the field goal, and that was it. To me, that was, we stopped them, kicked the field goal, and you could tell just a little. You could tell their demeanor. Detroit's demeanor was a little bit different. The coach was confident, but you could tell them players were starting to, you know, little by little, man. That one dude fumbled the ball. They were starting to put some licks on them when they were running the ball. The receivers were starting to think a little bit, you know, thinking twice about catching the ball, because they were actually putting it on them and starting hitting them. That's why Reynolds was dropping the ball. It started getting in their heads. Oh my God, they're coming back. What do we do? That's why you don't go for it. It's not the fact that it was like 4th and 2. They say it was a good play, but it's not a good play. It was like when the Cowboys and the Niners played, and I watched Mike McCarthy at the end of the game sit there and say, oh, that was good when they did the little quarterback sneak with 15 seconds left, and they said it was a good play. No, it's not a good play, because it didn't work. So all these people who were trying to say they had a good play on, no, bro, because it didn't work. It didn't work. Yeah, it hit him in the hands, but the reason why it wasn't a perfect pass is because our defensive lineman was rushing, you know, Nick Bosa made him get off his spot, and everybody on earth knows that Jared Goff does not throw well. Just that little bit, he made him move off his spot, made him throw a bad pass, and that's why I missed it, and that's why you don't fucking go for it on 4th down and 4th and 2, especially when the team is coming back like that. If you're going to go for it in the second quarter when you're on the goal line. That's the only play. I agree why he did it. I mean, I agree why he did it. I do it on Madden all the time. I'm stubborn. I'm going for it. You're gonna go for it. You go for it on the goal line instead of kicking that field goal. That's what I don't understand. You want a kill shot? You were what, 4th and 2 on the goal line in the second quarter? Man, they were doing whatever they wanted to us. They should have just lined up in an I formation. I don't care what formation. They could have probably ran it with Jared Goff, and we wouldn't have stopped them. And they should have just ran the ball in and scored a touchdown and made it 28-7. So I don't understand. I don't get that. I don't get that one. You took points at halftime before the half, but you ain't taking points in the fourth quarter, the third quarter. When you were down, you weren't taking a field goal. Okay. Hey. Okay, bro. Keep going. Go for it. Go for it. Anytime you want to, keep going for it. So, yeah, that's what did it. I think we started being more physical on defense and letting them know that they were there from a physicality standpoint, because Detroit came into the game and said, yeah, we might be the underdogs, but we are about to beat the hell out of you. Y'all are not. They literally roared. It was like a metaphor. It was crazy. The Detroit Lions literally jumped on top of us like a bunch of lions and drug us all up and down the field. But you know what happened? Anybody who wants to try and tell me that Brock Purdy is not a good quarterback or is just some regular ass dude, y'all don't know football. Y'all haven't watched football. Okay? That dude is awesome. He's really good. He's good. He's good. He's throwing that one past the Debo. Look, man, you're not supposed to throw it in between for people like that. He did it in the Green Bay game. He threw it past Jawan Jennings. People don't realize that don't watch the Niners that he does this all the time. He throws these layered throws in between the defense, over linebackers, in between cornerbacks, like it's nothing. Like it is nothing. And he's been mobile. Everybody's like, oh, I didn't know he could scramble. Yeah, man, Brock can run. Brock can run, and those play calls, that wasn't Mike Shanahan. I mean, Mike Shanahan. That wasn't Kyle Shanahan calling the play calls. Some of them calls, I think Shanahan, I don't think he called any good plays. I'm listening to all the analysts and watching all the plays. A lot of that stuff, those plays were covered. They were covered, and Brock made it happen. That he was outrunning corners. He was outrunning corners. He was outrunning linebackers. Okay, he got rocked several times with people in there blitzing him in his face, and he was making passes. That one where the corner came and he slid over his head and he turned around, did a 360, and threw it to Juszczyk. Are y'all kidding me? Please, please, please. Dak Prescott ain't doing that. Jared Goff ain't doing that. I can keep on going on down the list. There's 4 quarterbacks I probably put ahead of him. Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen, that have that same kind of skill, that can do those things. But they ain't reading the defense like he does. I mean, they do. But pretty much everybody else, I don't want to hear it. Jordan Love threw 2 horrible interceptions. Terrible, terrible game-ending, drive-ending interceptions in the playoffs, and his situational awareness was trash, and I heard earlier in the year it was trash. Dak Prescott, it gets murdered every year in the playoffs. Brock is basically 4-0 in the playoffs. In the playoffs. Playoffs? Yeah, playoffs. He's 4-0. What has Dak done in the playoffs? It's easy to beat up on the Jets. It's easy to beat up on the Giants. It's easy to beat up on the Redskins. It's easy to beat up on... You get the Redskins twice and the Giants twice, and you're playing the Patriots, all these trash teams, and they want to act like, oh, we're like the most... Nah, man. He gets in the playoffs and can't do nothing. Brock, the only reason that he didn't get a ring last year, from what we can tell, is that he just got injured, that he got knocked out of a football game. Because every game that he has started and finished, he's come out with a W. Another one. You know what I'm saying? Another one last week. Another one. Green Bay, they were up. He came back in the fourth quarter. It was wet. He was having issues throwing the ball. He looked crazy in the first half trying to, and I told in my last video, I said it's because of the rust. This game, I think he was fine. I think his defense, they were just getting punked on national television, and the offense didn't have a chance to get out there. But once they did get out there, once they did start making some stops, we scored 27 straight points. Okay, just give Brock a chance. Give him the ball, man. There's playmakers all over on that offense, and Christian McCaffrey too. That dude is a beast and a half. They're all in tandem. They're all in tandem. As long as we got Brock, as long as we got McCaffrey, and you have Debo and Ayuk and Kittle and Juszczyk and Jawan Jennings, that's a solid group, bro. Defense, please, please, for the love of God, man. Y'all are the San Francisco 49ers. Ronnie Lott, Ken Norton Jr., Gary Plummer, Charles Haley. Who are some of them other dudes? Dana Stubblefield, Bryant Young. I mean, all kinds of famous historical players that are like really good defenses. There's a history to how we play defense. There's a history to how we play offense too. Offense is kind of doing it. The defense, look, man, y'all don't have to be the 2000 Baltimore Ravens, but at the very least, y'all can't be letting fools step on your face, like y'all are in kindergarten or in like pee-wee football, okay, and manhandle you. I can't even think of enough descriptions. Obliterate, destroy, maul, eradicate. It was insulting what the defense was doing. Our defense was letting their offense do. This is Jared Goff, man. They never had a problem with this dude before. And you saw when we got pressure on him, he was making mistakes. They were making bad passes. These dudes were, they turned into some regular dudes once we started acting like, we are the defense. We impose our will on you, not you impose your will on us. Which brings me to the Super Bowl. In a weird way, it's so crazy. I think Detroit's more talented offensively than Kansas City. Kelsey's probably better than Laporta. But outside of that, Detroit has more talent. It just happens that Kansas City has Superman on offense. We have the better offense. We have the better offense. They probably, I hate it. I don't know how Kansas City probably has a better defense, but their defense is better. It's weird. Did you hear the little tremble in my voice? The defense, saying the words of Kansas City Chiefs defense is better than our defense. That shouldn't be. But I have a sneaky feeling like we're not bad on defense, man. We're missing Hufanga. Our free safety, you can tell our run problems. Now that I'm kind of understanding from what I'm hearing about how we run defense, they basically require the corners and the safeties to help out on the run. They rely on them more than these other teams. So it's not on the linebackers, basically, to be doing most of this stuff. They basically are like, it's hard for me to kind of eloquate it. The way that our defense is set up is that they know how most teams run the ball. So for us to be good everywhere else, what we're good at in the passing game and whatnot, blitzing and everything, they kind of basically leave the corners and the safeties, I won't say hang them out to dry. Our linebackers are used in multiple, multiple fashions. Okay, multiple facets of the defense that the weakness is okay, but on runs we need the safeties to come in and clean up. We need the corners to basically contain and help clean up. And when you don't have those guys doing that, that's how you're getting all the big cutbacks. That's how you're getting all the big because the people who are actually supposed to be doing the tackling and the running backs, the defensive linemen, and the linebackers, they're being occupied by everybody else, and they're kind of putting the onus on these safeties to fill and take out, basically to take out the running backs before they get to the second level, from what I'm hearing, which is challenging, especially if you don't have, good corners or safeties. And I'm not saying we don't have good corners or safety, but you need like you need like Rod Woodson. You need Rod Woodson. I'm talking about just, older for people. You don't need a Deion Sanders. Deion is not the type of corner you want doing this. You need, Ed Reed. You want Troy Polamalu. Those type of guys who are going to come up and hit people, who aren't afraid of contact, who aren't lazy tackling. I'm watching these guys doing reach tackles. No, man, you got to run through. You got to, with your body, run through these running backs. But like that dude, that Montgomery, he's huge. He's huge. It's a scheme problem as far as I'm concerned. If we go up against any kind of good running team and we're missing Hufanga, we don't have a solid free safety, that's trouble, man. It's inviting people to basically dominate on the run. Because if you get to the second level, it's just one-on-one. Any kind of fast running back is going to be, when I was in school, that's how I was. When I was trying to navigate through the line, yeah, I could get tackled. But if it was one-on-one with the linebacker, one-on-one with the cornerback, I'm gone. You are not catching me. You will see me tomorrow or in the end zone. All right, I'm running like people are chasing me. It's too easy as a fast back to get people to miss. It's way too easy to manipulate their movements. You get them going one way, go to the other, cutting back. It's not happening. It's not happening, and I can see it. That's what Aaron Jones did on the goal line when he ran, and he basically, you get everybody's momentum going that way. You make one cutback, everybody's traveling there, and you just go up the field. If you don't have the linebackers if the linebackers are being taken care of by linemen, then that's a problem, man. You're requiring your corners and your safeties to be making these tackles. You better have some damn good corners and safeties. Otherwise, you're going to be terrible at run defense, which is what's been happening. And now that there's all the spotlight and scrutiny on it, you can tell. Can we fix it? Yeah. Because part of the way you fix that, you just play physical. All right, that's how the Patriots beat the Rams in that one Super Bowl. Rams are more talented. Patriots played them physical, hit them because the pretty boys, they don't like running. They want to run and just catch the ball. They don't want to run and get smacked in the mouth. So that's how you level the playing field. That's how you even it up. You hit people and let them know you might catch the ball all day. You might run the ball all day, but you're about to run into me all day. And you might get 7 yards, but you're just going to keep getting hit. And eventually, they're not going to want to keep catching the ball. It's like a testament of will. You got to get into their head. Walter Payton, I remember the first time that I'd ever really heard him talk, and he was saying, football is a game of contact. When he was in college, his coach told him, football is a game of contact. So you should initiate the contact, basically, was what he was saying. To let them know that you are going to be the one putting, bringing it to him. That mentally, you're going to have to deal with me all day. And that's what the defense needs to do. You can't let the offense be the aggressor like that, because then they're going to do exactly what they did. That being said, I think the Chiefs, I don't know if they can do. I know they got Pachenko, but he's not as fast as those dudes. Those dudes were a problem. I was listening to other people talk about how Detroit had really good backs. I've been kind of watching clips of them. I saw them play the Cowboys, but I didn't see them do that. Man. I didn't think they were going to be that much of a problem. They were a problem. If you were picking up first down on 3rd and 12 and 3rd and 16, it's a problem. I don't know if Pachenko can run like that. I don't know. I don't know. I think that we we have to. I don't want to say that we don't have to pay attention to certain things because they got Patrick Mahomes. They have less weapons, but the good weapons they have are really good. They got a really good tight end. They got a really good quarterback, and their running back. He's a rookie, but he can run. They got a really, really good head coach. They destroyed us the last time they played us, and he understands. I know in 2 weeks, man, Andy Reid can come up with a good game plan. So it's kind of like the way I'm seeing it is that our offense has to score because I don't trust our defense. I don't trust our defense. I want to trust our defense. I don't trust our defense. So that means that our offense can score. Do I believe we can score? Yeah, I can believe it. We're not the Baltimore Ravens. I was never sold on Baltimore's offense. I don't know why they didn't run the ball. We got to run the ball. We got to run the ball, and they got one good corner. What's his name? Sneed. But I think we have so many weapons. We are a problem for that team to deal with. The key is we need to jump on them. Forget deferring the football. Get the football. Drive down the field. Kyle, I know he can do it. He needs to, in those first scripted plays, man, we need to drive down the field and score. We cannot let Kansas City score first because they're going to do to us what they did to Baltimore, right? You cannot get into a ball control game with Andy Reid. That's what happened the last time we tried to get into a ball control game with Andy Reid, and they scored 21 points on the last 6 minutes because we were acting stupid. We need to get the lead, and we need to run away. It needs to be like a track meet. It doesn't need to be like a track meet, but what I mean is it needs to be we get the ball and score, and they're probably going to score, and then we get the ball and score and make them kick a field goal. We need to get the ball and score because that is how you keep the pressure on them, and then defensively, you make Patrick Mahomes run for his life. He's the greatest quarterback of this generation. He's awesome. He is awesome. I always say that I don't like running quarterbacks as a quarterback. Great as runners, but if you're a great runner and you can't pass and you need to be at the running back position and not at the quarterback position, I know a lot of people don't like that. But when you get to this level, running quarterbacks can be stopped, just like look what happened to Lamar, man. But Mahomes, it's different. This dude is running while looking to pass. He's a lot like Brock. So the thing that you do to beat him is you got to pressure, 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 pressure. Get the ball out of his hands. Make those other dudes who've been dropping balls all football season, make them try and catch these passes. Make him run for his life. Chase after him at all costs. Stop the run. Figure out a way to deter them early from stopping the run and put the onus on Patrick Mahomes to make plays. I know he can make plays. I know that sounds antithetical to anything that you want to do. But you pressure him into making quick passes, and he's going to do his job. I don't trust the other guys. I don't trust all these other receivers. I don't trust them to make plays. We got decent cornerbacks. We got decent linebackers. So in a fast game like that, you know what I mean, where it's not like they're methodically driving. No, press the issue, man. We need to score points so they think they got to score points, and that means more passing, less running, and force the issue and chase after this dude. We got all these number one picks littered across our defensive line. They need to man up, man. I know Nick Bosa's going to do it. Chase Young, Hargrave, Kinlaw. Look, you just have to play your best football game ever in your whole entire life for 60 minutes, and then you get a Super Bowl ring, and you can say that you beat Patrick Mahomes. You know, that's what's at stake. It's only 60 minutes, man. What you gonna do? What are you gonna do next? What do you do with all that rest that you're taking during the game? How can you not leave everything on the football field? How can you go out there and be lackadaisical on plays? You know, you're gonna let that man across the line. You think that he's better? You really are gonna let him think that he's better than you? When I played football, bro, I was like, no, there is nobody that can cover me. I don't care how big, how fast, how tall, whatever they were. They weren't catching me, and I kept telling my quarterback, please throw me the football because I'm going to light this dude on fire. It's going to look like NFL blitz. Okay, and I'm not tall. I was just fast, and I promise you, I was like quick death. And that's how I thought about it. And so I'm like, with these defensive linemen, they need to be terrorizing these offensive linemen. Terrorize. That is your job. Someone needs to be feeling pressure. Even if you don't get to the quarterback, that offensive lineman better be thinking, man, this is the longest day of my life. They better be like, oh my God, I don't ever want to see this dude ever again. He's making me work every single play. That's what you need to do, is make him work. Make your presence known. Make your presence felt. You don't have to get a sack. You need to make your presence felt, and that is what our defense needs to do in this game, like they did in the second half of the last game. Let them know that you are here, that you are a physical presence that needs to be dealt with. Okay? I'm a physical presence. That's like when the Patriots, when they were 18-0 and everybody was crowning Tom Brady and Randy Moss, and they were like, hey, the Giants are just lucky to be here. The Giants heard them people telling them for 2 weeks they didn't belong in that Super Bowl, and they tossed Tom Brady around like he was a rag doll. They didn't hit him. I still remember the first time he got hit in that football game. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what hit him. He couldn't figure it out. He had been hit all season, and that defensive line took it to his ass. They were like, hey, man, how you doing? My name's Michael Strahan, and this is going to be me and the linebackers. You're going to be seeing us a lot today. And that is how you play football. That is how you play football in the Super Bowl. Just like with I like the play that Eli made in that game. You can tell me that Eli's a scrambler and all. No, he didn't give up. He didn't quit when they were trying to sack him. And when David Tyree, what's he been doing? What did he do after the Super Bowl? Nothing. But you bring your A game. All the heart, everything you got. You lay it on the football field for one game. You're playing against the best quarterback in football. You're playing against one of the best coaches in football. And they just won the Super Bowl last year. If you beat these dudes, you are legendary. Legendary. They can't take it away from you. They can't take it away from you no matter what they say, no matter what happens, no matter what happens to you for the rest of your life. People still got to mention Trent Dilfer when they talk about the Baltimore Ravens because he got a ring and he was that quarterback. They still talk about him. No matter how trash he was, he still got a ring. They can't say he didn't. They can't say he wasn't the quarterback. He might be the president of the game managers club, all right, the most non-talented Super Bowl winning quarterback ever, but he was the Super Bowl winning quarterback for the 2000 Super Bowl for the Baltimore Ravens, and he's got a ring. So that's the mindset that these guys need to have. Do I think we can win? Hell yeah. It's weird. I'm still heated about the last game that we let Mahomes get away. He's a great quarterback. He's a great quarterback. I have so much respect for the Chiefs and that coach. And by the way, I have a lot of respect for the Detroit Lions. I didn't think that was going to be an easy football game. And even with the rock-headed plays that their head coach made, the game was 34-31. They only lost by 3, man. I thank God every day that they went for those two forfeits because we needed them to. We really needed them to. And yeah, I don't care about I'm calling it the butterfly play, or ladybug. The ladybug play. That's what IU called it. There's lucky plays. That's how Tom Brady got beat. That's how Lynn Swan's catch. What Franco Harris in the Super Bowl with the Titans and the Rams, and was on the 1-yard line, and he barely missed. Everybody needs some luck sometime. So yeah, that's part of the game. The play was made, and that was pass interference. If anybody wants to be extra about it. So I might do another video in between now and the Super Bowl since it's 2 weeks and just tell you some more in-depth thoughts, position to position. But yeah, I think that was a crazy game. We should have never have been down 24 to is it 3 at halftime? 7? I can't remember. I was so stressed I couldn't believe it for the second week in a row. we were having to fight dudes like this because our defense basically wasn't ready. Um, but we did it. They made it. Brock did it. He made a ton of plays because that dude is him. All right. And I have total and complete faith in him. I have total and complete faith that as long as the defense gives him a chance, this kid is going to make the plays in the Super Bowl in his second year in the league and be right up there. They're going to have to mention him with Mahomes. Mahomes has been to 6 NFC AFC championships. How many Super Bowls? Brock's been 2. He's been 2 NFC championships, and he's in the Super Bowl in the second season. What are they going to say? How are they going to disrespect him? You know? So, yeah, I appreciate you guys watching the video. Hopefully you watched the whole entire thing. I'm still kind of working on the format. I wanted to be a little bit more candid this time. I probably should edit out all of it. But, like, subscribe, and I have a new... I'm going to start doing a little gaming, my gaming one, and my movie one soon. Movie segment to the Up All Night Dad podcast. If you got any good names, I'm not sure what I'm going to name it yet. But let me know. Thanks again. Everybody have a good night.